everyone, Chris from Invesrep here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. All right, one thing that we haven't really discussed is just first I say hi to this little Muppet. He's featured on the show before, so a little black-headed python. And as you can remember, I had the divider in the enclosure. And they were rapidly growing. So took the divider out. I've got the female on the top, I've got the male at the bottom here. The thing is I want to discuss today is actually falls into enclosures. And that's something that not a lot of people take into consideration. And that is enclosure maintenance. We tend to neglect the enclosures in the sense of the time frame maintenance that we need to put into the enclosure to make it bearable for the snake and for it to be happy. So the first thing we're going to start off with, the biggest mistake we make is water bowls. People think that if the water bowl gets empty, we can just top it up. The problem with that is you do have minerals in very low concentrations, but when you've got evaporation occurring, you just top it up with water, you're actually accumulating those minerals and everything in there, and even small amounts of bacteria. So here's a tip for the guys out there. Once a week, on certain species like Amazon tree boas and green tree pythons, we do it almost every third day. But as a general rule of thumb, every week we take out every single water bowl per section and we completely sterilize it, wash it out, take a sponge, not those scrubby sponges you use on the dishes, just a normal smooth sponge, wipe out the interior, rinse it out with clean water, put it back in and top it up. So there's no residue remaining from the previous water. So water bowls, once a week. People don't think about it, but it is crucial in order to avoid buildup of high concentration of minerals. Minerals is good, but in high concentration, some of them is not the best for your reptile. Okay, so water bowls. The other thing is spot cleaning. We use the term spot cleaning, and not a lot of people know what it is. Well, spot cleaning means, and that's the nice thing about certain substrates. Like I use the premium wood chips. What I love about this stuff is wherever I find a defecation or urinate, I literally take that entire section, take it out, throw it away, and that section is clean. So I'll spot clean the entire section. If you're using paper towel or newspaper, then you've got to take out with every single defecation. Do not leave that stuff in there. Remember, when you smell defecation, that smell is bacteria that you're smelling. So imagine in an enclosed environment what that bacteria accumulation will lead up to. So defecation needs to be taken out immediately. It's crucial. Sometimes I see enclosures and the guy will say, oh, sorry, it's been a while. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. But then there's 5 or 6 defecations in there. Snakes defecate, depending on the species, once a week to once a month. So if I see 6 or 7 different heaps of defecations in there, I'm going to question your husbandry immediately on how often do you really clean your enclosures. So spot cleaning, defecations immediately. There's no way around that. You need to address that immediately because you're creating a breeding ground for bacteria in a confined space, and that's just going to lead down to a world of trouble on their own. Okay. And then just general tidiness. Sometimes, I don't know why, my womas love doing that, and I get to the cage and I have a WTF moment every time I see it. They literally smear the backside of those enclosures. I'm like, wow, I just cleaned your cage yesterday. It's almost like a challenge to see how fast they can mess it up for me, but just wipe it down. Any defecation or urinates is a breeding ground of bacteria. So just remember that, guys. And then substrate. How often do I replace my substrate? So, and this is just based on experience from what I've seen over the years, depending on the species. So if you've got a high metabolism species that defecates a lot, creates a lot of urinates, that's that white stuff that you see, then you're going to be changing your substrate every 6 months, completely take everything out, replace everything, chuck it back, chuck new ones back in. I'm going to address substrates now on pre-treatment, on substrate, doesn't matter where it comes from. So substrate needs to be replaced every 6 months to a year, depending on the species. So if you've got low metabolism snakes, like my Angolan dwarf pythons, they can technically go on to 2 years. Probably the cleanest snakes I've worked with. Even these guys are very low maintenance snakes. They're active pythons, but the weird thing is they're low metabolism snakes. So I don't have to change out their substrate every 6 months. And then I've noticed tropical substrate, your cocoa husk, your high humidity substrates, because of the risk of mold and the problem with the dark substrate, you don't see defecation in there. That needs to be replaced every 6 months. Get a fresh batch in there, and yeah, just you got to do it. Otherwise, once again, you want a fresh enclosure where the snake is happy and sterile. You don't want to create a breeding ground for bacteria, because that, just as you all know, is going to lead to a world of problems on its own. Substrate treatment. When you get substrate in, whether it be premium wood chips from a supplier that you've been using for years, cocoa husk from the nursery, wherever, what I normally do, if it's bulk bags like we use, I portion it out, but sometimes I buy the smaller bags. I chuck that in the deep freezer for at least a week. So if there is anything hiding in that substrate, whether it be an insect, whether it be mites, eggs, doesn't matter what, I chuck it in the freezer for over a week. Take it out, thaw it out, and then I'll put it in my supply section where I'll fill up as I need my substrate. So guys, remember to treat your substrate irrelevant where it came from. I know there is some stories that mite eggs has come with substrate, and that's something that could have been avoided so easily. So just remember that. And then the dealer gets a bad name. It's not. Mite eggs can be on the way. It can come from anywhere. Sorry, I'm stumbling across my words there. So yeah, guys, snake enclosure or reptile enclosure maintenance is crucial, and the main focus for that is you do not want to create breeding ground for bacteria. That's a short and sweet one, but the most crucial one that I wanted to bring under your attention is, just remember, guys, the water bowls. I've seen this multiple times. You get that crystallization going on. That's the residue of minerals remaining. If you're just going to top it up, you're just going to concentrate that to an extent where it actually can become dangerous for your snake. So remember, guys, every once a week for boreal and sensitive species, every third day, take the water bowl out, rinse it, substrate, swap it, spot clean as you go. You can't just leave a snake on its own to put yourself in that position. If you had to live in an enclosure and you've got a corner that you now decided you're going to call your toilet, and you've got someone looking after you, you're going to expect that person to clean it every single day. So look at it from that perspective. Guys, that's it. Anything that I've missed on just the point that I need to bring in as well is, when you're doing your enclosures, check that your ceramic heat emitters are still operational. So test it, see if there's still heat coming through on it, because sometimes they do go and you don't pick it up immediately unless your thermostat screen is on the front, like mine is on the side. So every time I do reptile maintenance or enclosure maintenance, I actually check my ceramic heat emitters. I've got a heat gun that I point and shoot, and I see, all right, it's still active, it's still working. And I have actually in maintenance caught some of them that failed, and I can address that problem immediately. But if you're not going to address it, you're going to check it up and you just assume it's still working, the next thing, especially come winter, and now it's a crucial time, we're going into winter, that is a crucial part of equipment. If your ceramic heat emitter or your heat pad has been in there for ages and you doubt it, rather replace it. So yeah, always rather be safe than sorry. Okay, that's about it, guys. There's nothing more to say. So quick and short one for today, and hope you guys are having a great day. Once again, if I missed everything, leave it in the comments, and please like and subscribe to our channel. Guys, have a great day. Cheers. Bye.